I'm going to explain why I am risking it all and retired at 50, and also answer the questions. How do I ride so much, and am I married? Well, it's more of a statement. You must not be married. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my channel. In October 2023, I decided to take a big leap of faith and retire from my job. And I knew when I left that job, it was not one I would ever be able to return to. In doing that, I put my financial security at risk, but I did it for one big reward, and that is time. We just never know how much we have, and the time that we do have goes very, very fast. And I knew it was important, even at 50, to start taking advantage of that time. In order to understand how I got to this point, it's important to know a little bit about my background, which relates directly to the two biggest questions that I get all the time. How do I ride so much? And the statement is, you must not be married, or are you married? So I'm gonna go through my background just to give you context. The stars really had to align for me in order to make this happen. And without turning this into a really long in-depth video, I wanted to focus more on the writing part of it. When I was in my 20s, I got an engineering degree, which really helped me get good jobs, good paying jobs. And I really invested in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, which helped me get to this point. So those were the decisions I made there. Now I am living a very modest lifestyle. Now you're gonna see the Aprilia Touareg 660 sitting behind me, and that is gonna be contrary to saying I live a modest lifestyle, but all of my extra money goes to motorcycles. I drive 21-year-old vehicles. For example, I spent more to purchase my KTM 390 Adventure than I did on each of the vehicles that I drive. And I have two because if one breaks down, I need a backup. So when I say modest, that's why. Now, I knew that going into this, but it has been completely worth it because of the time that I am getting back. For those of you that have been watching my channel for a while, I'm sure you have figured out that I am not married. I've been divorced for over 5 years. And at this point in time, it would take extraordinary circumstances for me to ever consider getting married again. So you might be thinking right now, why have I not ridden to Alaska? Why have I not ridden to Tierra del Fuego? Why am I not exploring Europe or Africa? And there's one reason for that, which is actually the reason why I retired. And that is, I have two kids. I have an 11-year-old son and a 12-year-old daughter. And the last 3 years of my career, I lived away from them. They continued to live in New Mexico. I lived in California and DC. I would travel home here to New Mexico once a month to see them. But long weekends is just not enough. Kids need more than that. And I wanted to be a present father for them. So that was one of the reasons that I retired, was to be back with them. So I have joint custody with my kids. I get them every other week. So the weeks that I have them, it's just our small little family of 3 of us where we are doing everything together. And that is, as I've already said, the primary purpose for me retiring at 50. I understand that the years that I have with my kids right now is very, very short, and it won't be long before they're gonna be moving on and having their own lives. So that I knew if I retired at this time, I would be able to spend as much time possible, taking summer vacations where we can be gone the entire summer if we want to. So that was the primary purpose of retiring at 50. But the side benefit of retiring at 50 is I have a free week every other week. And I can tell you, when my kids are not home, the house has this vacant feeling. It is void of life because they bring so much to it and we have so much fun together. So when they're not there, the best way to handle that is to hit the road. So every other week, when the weather permits, I am traveling. I travel on my motorcycle. So to answer that question, how I travel so much, is I am not married and I don't have my kids every other week, which frees me up and also gives me that opportunity to get out. Now that's also why I do a lot of long distance travel in very short periods of time because there's places I want to get to and get back. So without the situation I'm in now, I would not be riding as much. I have also prioritized riding over anything else after my kids. I used to be a very avid mountain biker, but if I have a choice to go on a motorcycle ride over a mountain bike ride, I always choose the motorcycle. So in order to ride more, it has to be a priority over maybe some responsibilities and other hobbies. So that's how I've gotten to this point. To wrap up this video and to explain to you, answer those two questions, I also want to talk about what it's like to retire at 50. It has put me in a very unique situation. I am no longer going into the office every day like I was before, where you have those social connections. One of the things I've relied on is the social connections that I've developed through the motorcycling community, which has been fantastic. I have ridden with some of you out there. You have made tremendous offers for me to come and ride with you, which I really appreciate. And over time, I do plan to try to make that happen with you all if you'll have me. I am a bit of a mess, and it just kind of comes with the territory. Also, retiring at 50, there comes a loneliness with it because I am not married. I don't go in the office. So there are times where I do struggle with that, and riding has been a great outlet. I retired 16 months ago, and I spent a lot of time on the road last year, and I expect to do that this next year. So I know there are others out there that suffer from loneliness as well. Single men, single women, my age, older. And I can't emphasize enough just the value of riding. Even riding by myself, I experience much less loneliness riding by myself across the country in different places than I do when I sit at home. When I'm riding and going across the country, I have interactions with different people that is absolutely fantastic. I'm seeing new places, I'm camping in new places, and maybe I'm going back to places I've been before because I've enjoyed them so much. But it breaks up the routine so that I don't notice that I am alone. I do think that riding has been instrumental in the transition from going through a really difficult time, a dark time when I got divorced, to where I'm at now. I spent a lot of time on the bike, and it was very therapeutic. So if you have found riding to be therapeutic, let me know in the comments below. And if you feel comfortable enough, maybe just put a quick explanation as to the situation and what you were looking to try to overcome and how riding did that for you. And really, I wanted to do this video for a couple reasons. One is, if you are contemplating retirement, stop contemplating it and do it now. Like I said in the very beginning, time is our most precious resource that we have. And if you're spending time at the office instead of out riding or spending it with loved ones, you're not gonna get those minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years back. They're gone and they go fast. So just take that leap, take that risk, do it. You won't regret it. I have not heard anyone regret retiring. I hear guys all the time. I hear people all the time regretting not retiring sooner, especially when I talk to people and they find out that I retired at the age of 50. And I talk to them about the reason I retired was to spend an enormous amount of time with my kids and to really be there to help them become young adults and raise them and have life experiences with them. And they reflect on their own lives and realize that they just did not have that opportunity, or maybe should have made some changes when they could have and missed out on those days. So don't let those days pass you by. So I have now added this to my ending. Remember, you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. Thanks for watching. Get out, do some riding, ride safe, and I will see you out there. I found this in the road, ladies. If you're missing a camo bra,